So we are starting our last unit in Algebra 2 Trig. This unit is sequences and series. So the first 2 weeks we're going to talk about sequences, and we'll have a quiz at the end of next week. And then after that we'll do series for a week, and then you'll have a test the week of Memorial Day. So that's going to be how this plays out. I'm going to start with what's called arithmetic sequences, and I'm not mispronouncing that, it's arithmetic. And these you'll find, are going to be linear in nature. So I'm going to start off just by kind of giving you some background on what a sequence is. So my notes also, just to mention, our blank notes are out there on the Google Remote Learning Plan, as well as completed notes. I'm not going to do all of the examples in my notes, so you can take a look at those completed notes and be able to fill in the rest of them. Okay, so definition. Sequence is an ordered list of numbers. So they're going to be separated, you can see here in red with the commas. Each number in a sequence is, we would call the term of a sequence. And then we're going to have these subscripts, and that tells you which number term it is. So a sub 1 means it's the first term, a sub 2 is the second term. And really, I think the probably most confusing ones for students are these, where we're talking about a sub n. So a sub n is like any given term. So I can say, like, I want the 7th term. So that would be a sub 7. So just kind of like the general placeholder, I guess, that we use would be a sub n. And then if we're talking about the term before it, it would be a sub n minus 1, because it's saying the term right before. And if we want the term after, we would say a sub n plus 1. All right, so now let's take a look at arithmetic sequences in particular. So this is a sequence where the difference between terms is constant. This difference is what we're going to call the common difference. And we're going to kind of shorthand that by the letter D. And that is found by taking any term in the sequence and subtracting the term before it. So we're going to take any term that we have and then subtract the one before, and that's how we'll find our common difference. Again, as I mentioned with arithmetic sequences, these sequences are linear in nature. We're adding or subtracting a constant term. Tomorrow, or not tomorrow, if we were in school, it would be tomorrow. But this week we're also going to talk about geometric, and geometric sequences are exponential in nature. Okay, so let's look at least this first example here. So in order to figure out my common difference, I take my a later term and subtract the one before it. So in this case, I'm going to do 146, and I'm going to subtract from it 142. So then that's where I get a difference of 4. Now I want to look at this last one here. I've got 8, 3, -2, -7. So those numbers are getting smaller. So I should be expecting that difference is going to be a negative. So again, I'm going to just follow that same rule. I'm going to take the term, a later term, and subtract the one in front of it. So 3 minus 8, I'm going to get -5. So my common difference for the last one was -5. All right, so for these, I want you to determine whether the sequence is arithmetic or not. I'm going to look at the first one, and in order to make this determination, I'm going to take my second term and subtract the first term from it. So this one I'm going to have 4 minus 2, and I get 2. And then I'm going to, in order to determine whether it's arithmetic or not, I need to do that a couple more times to see if that same pattern continues. So then I'm going to do 8 minus 4. And obviously 8 minus 4 is 4. So this one is going to be not, this one would be not arithmetic. This is actually geometric, we'll find tomorrow. I don't know why I keep saying tomorrow, when we do geometric. So I'm going to look at the next one, letter B. So I'll do 6 minus 3 gets me 3. And then 9 minus 6 also gets me 3. So this one is, so letter B is arithmetic. And my difference is going to be a positive 3. If you want to go through the rest of those are in the completed notes, so feel free to do that. So the formula that we're going to use in order to be able to compute an arithmetic sequence is what we call the explicit formula. Next week, we will talk about a recursive formula, but this explicit formula, the great thing about it is that it allows you to calculate whatever term I'm asking for. So if I say I want the 87th term, you can just jump right to that term in the sequence. So let's talk about the pieces of this formula. So the nth term, it says the nth term of an arithmetic sequence has this form. Now I will warn you, on Math Excel, you probably will need to distribute this D value to each of the terms and make it look, again, like a linear equation. So D here is our common difference. A sub 1 is our first term. And then for the explicit form, you're always going to just have an N. So that N is going to remain there. And I'll show you how this formula will work in some subsequent examples. So let's see what our first example is here. Find the explicit formula for the nth term of an arithmetic sequence whose common difference is 3 and whose first term is 2. So I'm going to have A sub n. My first term is 2. I'm going to have n minus 1. And then my difference is 3. So this is where I was saying you're going to need to distribute that 3 to both of these in order to clean this up and make it look like a linear type of equation. So we're going to have 2 plus 3n minus 3. So then I'm going to write this in our standard form here. So we're going to have 3n minus 1. So that's our explicit formula. Now, if I said I want term number 7, the way that would work is if I'm looking for A sub 7, then I would take 3 times 7 minus 1. So the 7th term is going to be, A sub 7 in this case is going to equal 20. Okay, this one, I want to find the 35th term. So in order to find the 35th term, I'm going to need to figure out what my common difference is. I already have my first term. So my first term is 5. And then in order to figure out my difference, I'm going to take a later term minus the term before it. So in this case, my difference is 3. And then I'm going to go back to my formula. So whatever given term I'm looking for, I'm going to have my first term, and then n minus 1 times my common difference, which in this case is 3. Again, I'm going to distribute that into both of them. So my explicit formula, I'm going to have 3n minus 3. So let's see, my explicit formula is going to be 3n plus 2. So that's my explicit formula. Now the question here was, what's my 35th term? So I'm going to have A sub 35 is equal to 3 times 35, plus 2. So I'm going to pop that into my calculator, and it ends up that 35th term is going to be 107. All right, my next example. This example is actually out on Math Excel, so that's why you might notice from the notes that it's a little different, but I noticed that I was assigning one like this on Math Excel, so I wanted to make sure I went through one with you in the notes. So here I've got a sequence. These numbers are getting smaller, so I should expect that my difference is going to be a negative. So my first term is 3. My difference, I'm going to find that by taking a later term and subtracting the term before it. So my difference is negative 3. And then I'm going to put that all into my explicit formula. So a sub n is equal to my first term plus n minus 1 times that common difference. I'm going to distribute that into each of my terms. So my explicit formula, working on getting that, 3, okay, plus a negative 3n plus 3. So putting that in standard notation, I'm going to have negative 3n plus 6 as my explicit formula. Now this is asking me find out which term corresponds with negative 132. So one of the terms in this sequence is going to be negative 132, and I need to figure out which number term that is. So if negative 132 is one of my a sub n's, so I'm going to substitute that in to that position right there. So I'm going to have negative 132 is equal to negative 3n plus 6. And then this just becomes an algebra problem. Right, I'm going to subtract 6 from both sides. So I'm going to have negative 138 is equal to negative 3n. Divide both sides by negative 3. And then pop that into my calculator. And it turns out that n is 46. So it is the 46th term. So negative 132 corresponds with the 46th term. Okay, this kind of steps it up another little notch. So I need to figure out what my second and third terms are of this sequence and then write the formula. So obviously I've got some skipping going on here. I'm going from the first term. So I've got first, I don't know my second and third, and then I've got my fourth term. So I'm going to figure out, again, the way that I figure out my common difference, I'm going to take a later term and I'm going to subtract from it the earlier term. So that's going to be my first step. So grab your calculators. We're going to do 82 minus 100. I'm going to end up getting a difference of negative 18. And that negative 18 corresponds with 1, 2, 3 positions over. So I need to then divide that by 3. Because again, I'm going 1, 2, 3 to get from the first one to the fourth. So again, that would also be like, a sub 4 minus 1. So that gives me those three positions. So it turns out that my difference is going to be negative 6 here. So it wants the arithmetic, okay, my explicit. So a sub n is going to equal my first term plus n minus 1 times my common difference of negative 6. So my explicit form is going to be negative 6n plus 106. And then my second and third terms are going to be, let's see, 94. So I'm going to write them in up here, and 88. And I got that by doing 100 minus 6, and then 94 minus 6. So that's how I got those two terms. So this one is very similar to the one before, except the terms are spread out a little more. So it kind of really drives home the point of the steps that you need to take to get there. So I've got the fourth term, so a sub 4 is 20, and my 13th term is 65. So my difference is going to be 65 minus 20, later term minus earlier, so that's 45. And then the number of terms that I'm skipping from, I'm going from 13 minus 4, so that's a difference of 9 terms. So I'm going to then divide 45 by 9. So my difference ends up equaling 5. So there's a couple different ways. I am so close here. I could just do 20 minus 5 to get the third term, minus 5 to get the second, minus 5 to get the first. So that's definitely, one approach that we could take. The other thing that we could do is substitute that into my formula. So substitute that into a sub n is equal to my first term plus n minus 1 times my difference. So I've got a difference of 5. I'm looking for, or I have my fourth term rather. I know my fourth term is 20. So my fourth term is 20, and I'm trying to solve for my first term. So I'm going to have 3 times 5, which is 15. So my a sub 1 is equal to 5. Guys, in this one, it would have just been easier to subtract 5, 5, and 5 to get back to that. But nevertheless, I'll go with that. Let's see. I've got a sub n as my explicit formula here. First term is 5, n minus 1 times 5. So my explicit formula just ends up being 5n. And then my 30th term, I'm just going to substitute that in. Sorry, my work is all over the place here. My 30th term, I'll substitute that in. 5 times 30 is 150 for that 30th term. All right, last problem. I wanted to get a word problem in there for you so you didn't freak out if you saw one on Math Excel. So the number of seats in the first row is first 13 rows in a section of arena is an arithmetic sequence. Rows 1 and 2 are in the diagram. All right, so it says row 1 is 14 seats here in the picture, and then it says row 2 is 16 seats in the picture. And then how many seats are in row 13? Okay, so my difference is going to be 16 minus 14, so my difference is 2. So my explicit formula, a sub n is equal to my first term plus n minus 1 times my difference. So a sub n, my first term is 14, n minus 1 times my difference of 2. So I want to know how many are in row 13. So I just need to substitute. So a sub n, 14 plus 13, because that's what I'm looking for. 13 minus 1 times 2. So then I'll grab my calculator for that problem. 12, oh, I don't even need my calculator for this one. 12 times 2 plus 14, so 38. So 38 seats are in row 13. All right, take care. Reach out if you guys have any questions on this arithmetic sequence video.